Hello traders, it's Ike here. Welcome back to the channel and I hope you're doing great. So in this video I just want to share with you some few trades that we're taking this week. One was a loss, we had 3 wins, so that you can also get to see how these trades were taking, the thought process behind each and every trade, so that at the end of the day you can also learn something from it, right? So without wasting much time, let's get into it. Analysis on EURUSD on the weekly time frame, right? We're gonna work our way down to the lower time frame. So looking at this candle, this is the candle that just closed for the week. Let's focus on the previous one, right? So when the week started, I was focused on the previous candle, looking at how it closed and where it closed. Let's look to my left, right? So on my left, I could see that this level was a level of resistance. Price got here and then we had a drop right here. Also, this was a resistance. Price failed to break above, we had a drop. And then looking at this level as well, price reacted multiple times and then also dropped, right? So this gave me a reason, or this told me that okay, this is a strong level of resistance. So let me just turn on my markups. You will see that I drew something like that right here, right? So the fact that this week or last week, or even last 2 weeks was, we had a break above this level and then price was just pulling back. I was just, looking forward to see if we're gonna get any continuation to the upside, since this was still creating higher highs and higher lows. On the weekly, you could see a strong bullish candle right here, another bullish candle. So this was just probably a pullback and then continuation. So this was, what I was looking at on the weekly. Let's go to the daily time frame as well, right? So here on the daily structures, obviously we're creating higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. Price created a higher high right here, higher low, higher high, but then broke this low, created an impulsive move to the downside, right? So the daily started creating lower lows. This was a strong lower low. So on the daily, for this to be going to the downside, or for me to look for selling opportunities, obviously I would like to see a continuation structure right here to the downside, right? So looking at this level, this is the weekly structure, right, that I just showed you right here. If I should also see a reversal pattern, that is a reversal on this downtrend to the upside, obviously I'll also be looking for buying opportunities because of the multiple resistance that we had at this level, right? Also, just take a look at the candlestick formation. This was a strong bearish, but right here started seeing blues or bullish presence. This told me that the buyers were coming in at this level. So let's go down to the 4H as well. So right here on the 4H, there's a pattern that I normally talk about, or this is a structure that we know. This is a descending type of structure. An impulse, we have sellers slowing down right here, indicating that bias is likely to come in. So right here, this is when I told myself, okay, just the fact that we are seeing this structure above this level, this could be a move to the upside, right? And this is actually a trade that I shared in my Telegram group as well. Right here on the 1H, I made mention of price just breaking above right here and then pulling back, and this is where I'm looking for buying opportunities. So an entry will basically be waiting for price to break above right here, retest, and then we can get an entry going to the upside. Yeah, so that's exactly what price did on Wednesday. Price impulsed massively to the upside. I think this was news. Broke above and then we had a retest. So let's go down on the 15 minutes time frame and I'll show you, because this is exactly where I got in. So we had a nice impulsive move. This was a correction and then we had a breakout as well. So this was just the entry, exactly as I explained, right? So that was a very beautiful trade. Looking right here, we can see that price reacted at this level. It dropped, bounced on this trend line. We had a drop. That is why I drew this trend line right here, just to see if price was going to break above this level. And also on the daily time frame, this white line that I have, this was also a resistance in the past right here. When price got here, we had a nice resistance to the downside, and also you can see that price failed to break above that level, which also interceded with this level right here. So we had a trend line coming in right here, and we also had this nice resistance at this level. So you can see price actually failed to break above. If this broke out, I would have waited for a pullback, maybe somewhere here, and then continued trading this to the upside, but that's not what happened. So yeah, this is the trade that I took on EURUSD. Let me just jump on gold as well. So here on gold, we can see that price is just ranging. This is the high, this is the low right here, and price is just bouncing in between these levels, right? So right here, this is what happened. That was last week. We had triple top, first top, second top, price give us a low, third top, and finally price broke out of this correction phase right here, right? So we had a nice breakout and then we had a pullback. And also looking at this, I drew a trend line somewhere here, right? You can see this trend line right here. There's the first touch, second touch, and price was moving at the third touch. So this is exactly where I also sent this trade idea to the Telegram group, and also see the price approach this trend line correctively at this level, right? So there's also another structure that we can also wait for the break of structures, shift of this uptrend to a downtrend. We can take a selling opportunity since this still a bearish structure, right? So a few minutes after I sent the analysis in the group, I saw price just breaking down, and this was just the entry, the stop loss, and then also targeting that previous low. And as you can see, price just melted. So that was the trade. Also, this was the first trade on gold. So the second trade could have been right here. Let me just show you on the lower time frame. So on the 15 minutes time frame, as you can see, price impulsed. We came back to this level of support, right, and then pushed to the upside to break the previous high. So this was the first bottom. Price created a high, second bottom, and then eventually broke that level, right? So this is a double bottom formation, and right after the break of the neckline, we could expect a pullback and also a continuation, and that's exactly what happened. But this is not a trade that I took, because the time that this thing played out, I was already asleep. This was during the Asian session in my time zone. The price broke out correctively, but eventually came down to retest again and then pushed to the upside. So when I woke up, price was already somewhere here, and there was no way I would have entered right here. So I left this trade running. This is the second trade that was taken on gold as well. So I'm also gonna break that down. Let's go to the 4H time frame. Just look to your left, right? What can you see? You can see that there's a strong level of resistance, right? Whenever price gets to this zone, there's a drop, resistance. So the fact that price was moving towards that direction, obviously we're looking forward to see if you could get any reversal structure that would tell us that price will drop, or any structural change that is from higher high, higher low now to lower lows and lower highs, right? So right here on the 15 minutes time frame, this is exactly what happened. If you look right here, price was creating higher highs and higher lows, right? Higher high, higher low, created a higher high, higher low, a higher high, but then price came down to break that low. If I go down on the 5 minutes, this was a very quick trade, right here, higher high, higher low, higher high. This actually came down to break this, which means the trend wasn't no longer an uptrend. This was a lower low now, so waiting for a pullback. And this actually a trade that one of my brothers took whilst we were just looking at the chart together and just having fun on the chart, right? He took this trade exactly at this price. So entry was 25.18 right here, 25.18.22, and TP was 25.05, right? So exactly at this level, entry right here, stop loss here, and then take profit was also smashed, right? So this was a very simple trade that we all looked at that time, and it was neatly executed, right? This was the last trade taken on gold, and this was a loss. It was taken on Friday before NFP, but actually this was a very beautiful trade. If I should see this trade 10 times, I'm gonna take it 10 times. So let's take a look at it. Right after price shifting right here, creating a low, we started seeing price just moving correctly to the upside, right? And if you have followed me for a very long time, you know that I like to focus on price action, even how the candlestick moves, right? So you can see right here, this was a very corrective structure telling me that buyers are in the market, but the momentum is not that much, right? So right here, I spotted an ascending channel, and I waited for this low to be broken. Exactly when this low got broken, this was my entry. My stop loss was above this level, and my TP was way down here. This was my TP. But you can see when NFP came in, price just reversed, went up, smashed my stop loss, and then came down to finish the trade, right? But this wasn't a trade I would have placed stop loss right here. No, this wasn't something I would have done. So I mean, this is not something that I could have changed. But anyway, just looking at this trade, it was a very beautiful trade. Yeah, so overall it was a very beautiful week. So if you are not in my Telegram group, make sure you do join, because in there I do share these kind of setups. Not only do I send a trade idea, but I also share videos explaining how I'll be getting into a trade and all of that, so that they can apply these kind of strategies in real time. All right, if you like this video, if it gave you value, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe as well, and I'll see you next time. Peace.